Hey everyone! Well, today's the day. We're continuing the deck makeover by filling our Smart Pot raised beds we popped up a few weeks ago with some soil. And I'm very excited about this soil. It's a new soil for me. I've been testing out for a few months, and it's the best soil I've ever used. So I'm excited to share that with you today. I'm also going to be sharing with you along the way here some components of really good soil. So you know exactly how to choose good raised bed soil for your raised beds, for your containers, so that you can grow a lot of veggies too. So let's jump in. We got some work to do, but it's going to be... Now, before we get the raised beds filled with soil, I've got a little surprise for you. I asked Jerry to build me some dollies for my new raised beds. And the reason why is because oftentimes we need to move our raised beds for product shoots. Of course, way too heavy. They're filled with soil, so the dollies on wheels will do the trick. Plus, I wanted to be able to chase the sun or chase the shade, whatever the case might be, depending on the time of year. And I was so excited because we were able to build these completely out of repurposed materials from our deck up above and this deck here. The only thing I had to purchase was the wheels. These wheels are super sturdy, 4-inch wheels. They're gonna hold, according to the product specifications, up to 2,000 pounds. So they'll be plenty strong enough to hold our raised beds. So without further ado, let's get these installed. Jerry's getting pretty handy, so I was very excited that he was able to build these in just a few hours. Now, the cool thing is the wheels lock. It's really nice to have the option to move the beds around if I want to. And you can't beat that the wheels are red, right? I'm so excited to get this whole garden set up. This is so much fun. Get our smart pots in place there. The nice thing is it raises them up just a little bit too, give a little bit more height and dimension to the deck. This is gonna be so fun. Now, Jerry made the dollies just a little bit wider than the raised beds to support all the weight. And I absolutely love how this right here used to be right here, and we're totally reusing it. Time to get the trellis in. It's a little bit higher to lift with the dollies than it was before. Little note about the placement of the trellis. I'm placing it in the back of the garden beds because the sun comes from this way. That way it doesn't shade out any plants in the front, and then the weight of the soil is gonna hold it in place. So we actually repurposed this trellis as well. Actually, I forgot to return it. So go back and watch all the videos in this deck makeover series so that you can see the whole transformation. Now let's get to the soil. Good quality soil is super critical for the growth of your garden. It's really like the foundation of a house. If the foundation isn't good, the house is gonna fall. And it's the same thing with soil. Good quality soil supports your plants from above and from below the ground. And I've been testing out a new soil in my garden over the past couple of months from Master Nursery Garden Centers called Bumper Crop. And they just came out with a new raised bed soil. And believe me, you guys, this is the best soil I've ever used. When I opened the bag, Jerry heard me, I literally took a gasp and I said, I can't believe how amazing this soil is. So this brand new raised bed soil is not even available to the public yet. It should be available this spring and summer over at masternursery.com. Been really excited to show it to you guys. It's formulated or manufactured by E.B. Stone Organics here on the West Coast and in the Western US. And it's really reasonably priced at your local Master Nursery Garden Centers, at independent garden centers all over the US. And I've used so many poor soils in my life that's filled with lots of fillers like wood chips that just rob the nitrogen from the soil. And look at the amazing quality of the soil. It's black and rich, no heavy fillers, not lots of wood chips in here. And the first time I filled a container with the soil, it just soaked up the moisture. It didn't take anything to moisten it and get it ready for planting. The first component that I look for in a potting mix is moisture retention. And the reason why this is so important is that the soil needs to retain the moisture, but yet not drain too quickly. It needs to have good moisture around the roots of the plants so it can uptake moisture and uptake nutrients. A lot of the cheap bag mixes have peat moss in them, which doesn't always hold moisture so well, but this one doesn't. It's got coco coir and fir bark, which really hold the moisture in. So I'm gonna dump this first bag in here. It just smells amazing. And one of the things I really love about E.B. Stone is that they are eco-friendly in the way they manufacture the soil. They actually use wind turbines to power their entire plant and their production facility. And one of the reasons why Master Nursery Garden Centers is able to sell this for such a great price is because they manufacture it regionally. There's a production facility on the West Coast that services the garden centers in the Western United States. There's also one on the East Coast called Coast of Maine Organics that services the Midwest and the Eastern local independent garden centers with this soil. So it's really a great price. Now, most premium potting mixes are about twice the cost. So I'm really happy with how value priced this is for a premium mix. Now, too much bark in potting mix, which I'm sure you've seen, can be a problem because it tends to break down and rob your plants of nitrogen, while also making the mix way too chunky and it dries out super quick. But fir bark has a fine, uniform texture that breaks down slowly, which helps maintain the soil structure and aeration and really helps your plants get steady nutrients and great drainage. Just look at how beautiful the soil is. It smells so nice and earthy too. Now, this raised bed soil will be coming out this spring and summer. In the meantime, you could use the Master Nursery Bumper Crop Potting Mix for your raised beds and check over at masternursery.com. It's only available at your local independent garden center, so check over there for a location near you. And I'll keep you posted on when it's available. Now, each one of the Smart Pots raised beds here, the urban raised beds, takes 13.5 cubic foot of soil. Each bag is 2 cubic feet, so roughly 7 bags for each raised bed. This is getting fun. Another component of healthy soil that you should look for in a bag mix is aeration. And that is super important because the soil needs to have air and good drainage because the roots have to breathe. They need that oxygen in order to grow. And the Smart Pots is also aerated. So the combination of the Smart Pot urban raised bed and the soil, match made in heaven. Now, oxygen is absolutely critical for healthy root growth. The more roots, the more fruit, or the more vegetables. Now, a lot of other bag mixes use heavy fillers like bark that can really compact and hinder the airflow in your raised beds, which actually leads to waterlogged roots and maybe even root rot, which can kill your plants. But this mix includes pumice, which is a volcanic rock that really helps with soil aeration and prevents compaction. Super important. It allows the roots to breathe and helps with drainage. Another component of healthy soil I always look for in bag mixes are nutrients, because obviously you want your soil to have good nutrients for plant growth. Now, a lot of the cheaper bag mixes you'll find at your Home Depots or your Lowe's have synthetic fertilizers and cheap fillers. But this mix has additional nutrients so you don't have to add any fertilizers. It actually has worm castings, additional core for drainage, and chicken manure. So I'm saving money because I'm not having to add additional fertilizers to my raised beds before I plant. So these good organic nutrients will feed my plants for a couple of months. Oh man, I cannot wait to grow veggies on these raised beds. Woo! 6 bags down, 1 to go. And the other thing about this mix, I mentioned the fir bark. The fir bark will decompose slowly over time, which feeds my plants over time. So it's got those good slow release fertilizers in there. I mean, these guys have really thought of everything. Moisture retention, aeration, and nutrients. This mix really has it all. And when I'm filling my raised beds, I like to fill them all the way to the top, about an inch or so from the top. That way you have a little bit of room, extra room for mulch, but if you don't fill it all the way full, your soil is going to settle. I mean, it will settle a little bit naturally over time as the materials in the soil decompose. But if you don't fill it all the way to the top, it will settle and you're going to end up having to fill it a lot more the next growing season. So this looks just about right. Still a little bit of room for mulch too on the top after I plant. Tuck it in here around the trellis. This is getting exciting. I always like to smooth it out on top, but really I just like to get my hands in the soil here. Now we are going to be adding drip irrigation in just a couple of weeks, so make sure you stay tuned for that video. We'll get it all ready to plant. 1 raised bed filled, 1 to go. We've got 7 more bags. And you guys realize Jerry lugged all these bags down the stairs. He's quite the guy. And he built the dollies for me. Last bag, 1 bag left. It's super exciting to get this all put in today. Now, there's going to be a lot more going on here. We've got a new drip system to install. We've shown you how to do that step by step, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. We've got some vegetables to plant. Can't wait to see them all growing up the trellis here. And remember over, Jerry's gonna be able to get a potting bench too. You don't wanna miss anything. Woohoo, this stuff looks great. I'm very excited to be working with Master Nursery Garden Centers and their amazing line of bumper crop soils and fertilizers this year. So make sure you look for that product at your local independent Master Nursery Garden Center. And by the way, one of their soil experts from EB Stone who formulates this soil is going to be on our live stream this coming Monday, February 24th at noon Pacific time. So make sure you join us in the chat for that live stream. He'll be sharing a lot of soil tips that will be very beneficial for your garden. So let me know in the comments if you've ever tried any of the bumper crop soils or fertilizers. I'll be reading your comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time in the garden.